Hi guys. I know some of you guys are just coming in. I wrote on the comments. Um, I would love it if you guys can write in English. That is something that I always try and emphasize. We're going to talk a little bit about social media today, and I hope I can get your opinions on it. Um, how are you guys doing though? Before I actually start with the topic, I want to ask you guys how you guys are doing. How are you doing today? How are you doing today? How are you doing today? Um, Today I went out for coffee, and not really coffee actually. I went out to a cafe, but I'm trying to cut caffeine. So I've been drinking tea. I've been drinking herbal tea. I feel horrible right now, honestly. I always start crashing after lunch, so hopefully I can make it throughout the week. How about you guys? Do you guys rely on caffeine, coffee, for energy? I don't necessarily drink coffee for caffeine, but I also like it. I just like drinking coffee. So when I told myself I need to kind of back off from caffeine, it was kind of a big shock. My body's kind of in a big shock, but I think we'll make do. I think we'll make do, guys. Hi, Joss. Is that your name, Joss? I'm gonna just have this on the side, Joss. Thanks for coming in. I remember you from last maybe two classes ago. I do remember you. I don't remember exactly when you came in. It might have been with when Aiden was here, but how are you doing tonight? If you are in Korea, that is. Because you might be from somewhere else. You might be from the US, streaming live. And if you're from the US, it'll probably be what? Maybe 6 a.m., 5 a.m., depending on what zone you're in, or time zone, I should say. You're doing good today. Awesome. Joss. We'll just wait a little bit for people to come in. And I think that hopefully people do see this and come in. I did tell you guys a little bit about how I'm going to be doing live every week. Um, and I do want it to be consistent as long as my viewers are consistent. But that's okay. I want to just do it so that I can have kind of a foundation for people to come back to. Live is always live turns into videos and they stay on my channel. If people want to come back and watch things, or if I want to edit some parts of the video or of my live and then use it for shorts or for an actual video, I can do that because it will stay on there. Um, so let's see. Maybe I should have left the door open. All right, so we'll just wait a little bit longer. I do want to check the status. Can you guys hear me well? Can you hear me well? I'm gonna write on here. Can you guys hear me well? Again, like, one of the things that I'll still make mistakes on is the word well versus good. I always say, hey, you good? Like people say good so much that when you use sentences like, can you hear me well? I'm doing well. You should say the word well, but we end up saying, I'm doing good, or can you hear me good? But it's tricky. That's something that I guess with colloquialism, the rules tend to bend. The rules tend to bend a lot. Let's see. We have 3 viewers. Awesome. I hope you guys are well. I know if you guys are a little shy to comment, that's okay. That is okay. Well, I know people are busy, and I know some people tend to come in towards the end, so maybe we'll just, talk. Maybe I'll just talk with you, Joss. Maybe it'll be a one-on-one discussion today. 오늘 여러분 제가 여기 제목도 이렇게 적어놨지만 자유로운 영어 대화 쓰기 말하기 연습이에요. 그래서 최대한 영어 사용해 주셨으면 좋겠고요. 오늘 SNS에 대해서 이야기해 볼 거예요. 최근에 제가 계속 생각을 많이 하게 됐는데 SNS. 그래서 이제 우리가 한국말로 할 때는 SNS 이렇게 얘기하죠, 그죠? 근데 SNS가 도대체 뭐예요? 우리 한국말로 했을 때 예를 들어서 SNS 이럴 때는 SNS 이거 SNS 한국에서는 소셜 네트워크 서비스라고 생각을 해서 그렇게 적은 것 같은데 여러분 알고 계시죠? SNS라고 안 해요, 우리. 미국에서도 안 그렇고 아마 영국 쪽에서도 이런 얘기 안 할 거예요. 아마 제가 알기로는 SNS는 한국에서만 그렇게 사용을 하시는 것 같더라고요. 그래서 그것은 아닌 것 같고, how can we say SNS in English? We just say social media, and Koreans tend to shorten a lot of things. 한국 사람들은 좀 줄이는 경향이 있죠. 말들을 줄이려고 하는 경향이 있고, 물론 영어도 똑같아요. 줄이려고 하는 경향이 많아요. SNS, nobody says SNS. People will be like, huh? They'll just be like, what is SNS? And then you'll have to say, oh, like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter. Oh, social media. Right. 그렇습니다. 자, 오늘 SNS에 대해서 이야기해 볼 건데, 그러니까 제가 한국말로 할 때는 SNS라고 어쩔 수 없이 할게요. 왜냐면은 이게 콩글리시라는 게 무서워요, 정말. 왜냐면은 제가 한국말로 할 때는 갑자기 제가 한국말로 하겠습니다 이러면서 소셜 미디어 이러면서 막 그러면 얘 발음 왜 이렇게 일부러 굴리려고 하고 막 제 아메리칸 양키네 막 이런 소리 들을까봐 그냥 한국식으로 그냥 다 합니다. 근데 한국식으로 오히려 막 그렇게 가려고 그러는 게 어떻게 보면 위험해요. 그럼 결국엔 계속 SNS 이렇게 되고 조금씩 우리가 바꾸려고 하는 그런 뭔가 노력을 해야 되는데 근데 그거는 사실 뭐 쉽지 않죠. 제가 예를 들어서 소셜 미디어 너 소셜 미디어 있어? 이러면은 야 너 뭔 소리 하냐 SNS 그냥 SNS지 그게 뭐야 너 왜 이렇게 뭐 양키 같냐 약간 이러겠죠 그죠? 근데 사실상 우리가 그거를 좀 바꿔야 되는 노력을 해야 돼요. 왜냐면 이렇게 하다가 결국에는 해외 나가서 아니면 외국인들한테 이렇게 SNS를 완전 당황스러운 그런 상황이 나오잖아요. 그죠? 그러니까 조금씩 우리가 바꿔 나가야 되는데 참 힘든 부분 같습니다. 왜냐면 그렇다고 해서 영어식으로 이렇게 하면 또 한국 사람들이 못 알아듣고 한국 사람들이 너 왜 그렇게 해요? 그냥 SNS 하면 되지. 약간 헬스 뭐 이것도 똑같아요. 헬스 트레이너, 헬스. 야, 나 헬스장 간다. Nobody says I'm going to health. Nobody says that, right? So same thing. 그러면 너 짐 갔냐? 너 오늘 짐 갔어? 너 짐 갔어? 이러면 또 야, 너 왜 이렇게 발음 굴리려고 그러냐? 약간 이러잖아요. 그죠? Alright. Yeah, so always, actually not usually, always Americans say social media. We don't say SNS. It's not a thing. Always, I say always Americans say social media. Okay, always. They might understand. 이해할 수도 있어요. 어떤 사람들은 왜냐면 이게 뭐 짝짓기 하는 거죠. SNS니까 뭐 소셜 네트워킹이겠지라고 그냥 어느 정도 추측해가지고 알아듣는 사람이 있겠지만, 근데 what is SNS? SNL? Saturday Night Live? 약간 요러겠죠. SNL 얘기하는 거야? SNL도 원래 미국 거예요. 여러분 알고 계셨나요? 저는 사실 그걸 몰랐어요. 근데 미국 거더라고요. 미국에서 만들어진 거예요. 그래서 그거 알고 계셨으면 좋겠고요. 자, alright. So I think it's just you and me, Josh, for now. That's okay. I tend to think about this. I tend to kind of get carried away with viewers and numbers and analytics, but it's always about, I think, one person seeing a change in their English level. I really find it kind of touching to hear that somebody writes a really long message and say, hey, I really enjoyed this particular video and it helped out a lot, and that really gets me going, especially when they see something that I didn't even think about. Like sometimes I just make these videos and I know that some people might find it helpful or might not, and then it just comes out of nowhere saying, oh wow, it was really helpful. 그래서 한 명 한 명이 정말 중요한 것 같습니다. Anyway, 자 바로 들어갈게요. Josh, let's keep talking. Josh, why do you think, not why, do you think social media is good? And why? Do you think social media is good? And why? Do you think social media is good and why? For those of you guys that are just coming in, 여러분 방금 들어오시는 분들은 say hi. I'm not gonna bite. Say hi. What's up? How are you doing? Tell me where you're from, and it'll be really fun to just get the conversation going. 오늘 저녁에 사실 지금도 준비가 되어 있지만 한 9시쯤, 10시쯤에 오늘 영상 올라갈 거예요. 그래서 그거 여러분 봐주시면 좋을 것 같고요. So I wonder if this is because I didn't schedule this stream, so I have a feeling that maybe people didn't get notified. 제가 스케줄을 하지는 않았어요. 이 라이브를 웬만하면 한 몇 시간 전에 스케줄링을 해놓고 들어오는데 그걸 하질 않아서 혹시 여러분들이 이거를 못 보셨을까라는 생각을 해서. Alright. Okay, so let's. 양팔자 가상팔자님 안녕하세요. Alright, so let's go back to that page. All right, that's a really good response. That's a really good response. It's a good reason to say that it is good. And you said it's good because it's helpful to get information fast. Okay, it helps get information fast. That is so true. So I'm going to erase the first question. Do you think social media is good and why? Okay. It helps to get information fast. It helps get information fast. That's really cool. Yep. And I do agree. I agree. When you're looking up, let's say you're looking up something that you want, like for example, I want to go out to eat, right? And I'm looking up places to eat. right? Um, and I have no idea what is good in this area. I would rather go on Instagram and look up restaurants in the area rather than Google it. So it helps to get information fast, especially when you're getting local information. Especially also with news as well. I think with news, I think it's faster to be on social media. I remember there was a hurricane about a couple months, no, what, about a month ago, a hurricane came to LA. A hurricane came to LA, and I was kind of devastated because I have all my friends there. So instead of going on CNN or instead of going on a weather channel, I actually kept looking at my friends' stories and kept being on Instagram to check how they were doing. So it helps to get information fast. Um, let's see. Some part is good. Yeah, Joss. What part is good? So you're saying some part it's good and some part it's not, right? Some part is good, some part is not. Some parts are good and some parts are bad. And what are the bad parts if you want to talk about them? I'd love to know. It helps to get information fast. How about staying connected with friends? I can listen or learn some music or things like you. Okay. Okay. So Josh says I can listen to music on social media. That's good. Yeah, you can listen to music on social media. That's so true. Like on TikTok, there's a lot of popular songs. I don't know what makes it popular. I don't know if people use popular songs on TikTok and it becomes popular, but there's a lot of popular songs that I think get popular from TikTok. But anyway, I can listen to music. I can listen to music or learn 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 I would say learn what? Like learn what? Learn English from people like you. Yeah, that's great. I can listen to music on social media, and I can listen to music or learn English from people like you on social media. Yeah, that's great. I guess YouTube is social media, right? I guess social media, YouTube is social media. When I say social media, I really focus on like Instagram and Facebook, Twitter, uh, or should I say X, and um, and TikTok. But I think YouTube is just up there because people I can share my stories. You can look at my stories, and Shorts is basically the same thing as TikTok. So definitely, definitely, yeah. Anything else? Josh, that was a good reason to say that social media is good. You know what I find it the most helpful? I find I find that I find that social media is the most helpful. I find the social media the most helpful when I'm trying to contact people. Like I have friends that I've known for years. I have friends that I've known for years. Um, but I can't just cacao them all of a sudden. Be like, 안녕 잘 지내? 한 12년 동안 안 본 친구를 안녕 잘 지내? We don't really do that. That's weird, right? Even if it's a guy. Like, of course I wouldn't do that to a girl because that kind of gives off a weird impression. 잘 지내? But on Instagram, it's really easy to connect. It's really easy to stay connected and contact because we look at each other's stories. I found it very, very helpful when I actually saw that one of my friends visited, I think Germany, or I think maybe it was Paris. No, I'm sorry. When I was in LA, one of my friends from high school said he was visiting LA, but he had posted pictures, and I hadn't talked to him for quite a bit of time. And I said, "Hey, you're in LA now." But it makes sense because I'm in LA, he's in LA, and he posted pictures of LA and say, "Hey, let's connect, How have you been?" So through social media, I think it's easier and it's kind of more convenient to kind of get in touch with other people, especially the ones that you haven't been in touch with for a long time. 네, 운동 다녀오세요. 냥팔가 상팔자님, I can't read your name very well. I'm sorry. I totally agree. You don't like Instagram because there are so many ads. So many ads. Yeah. And JJJ00 says, I can reach some people who had not been touched with until I opened the social media app. Exactly. Yeah. I can reach people that I have not been in touch with, right? That was a good sentence. 잘하셨어요. Very good sentence. Oops. Did you say I can reach people? I can reach people that I have not talked to for a long time. Yeah. I can reach people, I can talk to people whom I have not talked to for a long time. I can reach people that I have not talked to for a long time. 운동 잘 다녀오시고요. Have a fun workout. I say have a fun workout. 특근하시고요, right? Get those gains. Great. Thanks for participating, guys. This is great. I know that this is not the easiest to talk about because I think it can go both ways. I can probably write down 10 cons, 10 pros, and then have everybody debate about it, and we'll never reach a conclusion. But I think that's why it's also fun. Oh, I said I find social media. I'm sorry. I find social media the most helpful when I'm trying to contact people. 그죠? 그런 것 같습니다. 또 뭐가 있을까요? What else is there? 또 뭐가 있죠? And some of you guys can disagree with me. Some of you guys can say, "Oh no, this is bad." I think we're living in a world where we are too embedded in social media. Yeah. All right. If someone wants to learn things, social media is very important, but it has bad information. Maybe. That is a really good point. That is a good point. So I'm gonna just write this on the board here. 칠판에 적어드릴게요. Joss made a good point. Joss said, if someone wants to learn things from social media, I'm sorry. If someone wants to learn things, social media is very important. but it has bad information, maybe, right? If someone wants to learn things, social media can be, let's say can be, or is, you can say is, but it can be important and good, but it can have bad information. That was very good. Very good. 우리가 bad, good 이런 단어들을 물론 사용하는 거 굉장히 좋아요. 여러분들의 레벨에 따라서 사용하는 게 굉장히 좋지만 one of the things I would say about bad information is maybe like misleading information. misleading information이 뭐냐면은 안 좋은 정보라기보다 알맞지 않은 아니면은 제대로 인도하지 제대로 뭔가 이끄는 제대로 된 정보가 아닌 나쁜 정보라기보다 그러니까 옳은 정보가 아닌 오류된 정보, 그죠? Misleading information, right? I think that would be a good word to use there. JJJ000 says, we tend to buy something that is not intended because we are exposed to tons of ads. Yeah, that is so true. We tend to buy things that we don't intend to buy because we're exposed to so much ads. Okay. Misleading information is very similar to fake information, right? Very similar. We tend to buy things that we don't intend to buy because we are exposed to tons of ads. That's a very good sentence. I want you guys to read this. 여러분 같이 따라 읽을게요. We tend to buy things that we don't intend to buy because we are exposed to tons of ads. Right? That's a very good sentence, JJJ000. I totally agree. I don't necessarily buy things online, or at least this is what I buy. I buy toilet paper from online. 저는 화장지 같은 거 정말 필수품들, like household items that we need, I buy them online. But I see a lot of things that I want to get. So maybe it raises the risk of me, getting things I don't actually need. So that's definitely a con. I would say that is a con. That is definitely a negative aspect of social media. 그죠? Thank you for that, JJJ. All right, so let's keep going. How about time? How much do you guys spend on social media? How much time do you guys spend on social media? I think that's a big thing to talk about. And I've read some reports because I read the news, and I do see that a lot of people spend a little too much time on social media without them realizing that they are spending that much time. And same thing goes for, YouTube and whatever else that you guys are on, just to, you guys say, especially me, I'm the victim here too. I say, I want to go and, watch some videos on this particular subject that I want to learn about, and then I end up not learning or looking up the videos I want to learn about, but rather stuff that the algorithm gives me. Okay, so I want to actually mention the word. This is a big word that is common nowadays. It's called doom scrolling. I don't know if you've heard of it. 이거 혹시 들어보셨나요? doom scrolling이라는 단어 들어보셨나요? I don't know if you guys ever heard of this, but this is a big word that's going around in social media, in the US, and just people talking about it. Doom scrolling. What is doom scrolling? Do you guys know what that is? Can anybody tell me? Yeah, doom scrolling. I think I spelled that right. I think that's the term, right? Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. I can see some of you guys trying to Google this right now because I did the same. But it's actually, I feel like it's not just negative. So this is the Google definition, okay? Let me write this here for you. And doom scrolling, okay? Oh, I guess I can't copy and paste. All right, so let me actually just read it for you. Maybe I can type it in on the I should be able to do it now. 1 second, guys. 1 second, guys. Woo! That's a lot, huh? So I said, what is doom scrolling? And I asked Google about it because, we see it everywhere. Doom scrolling is mindlessly scrolling through negative news articles, social media posts, or other content sharing platforms. So basically, it doesn't necessarily have to be TikTok or Instagram, but doom scrolling can be mindlessly scrolling through. So you know how you're on your phone? You know how you're on your phone and you go up. You go up to watch another video, either on YouTube Shorts or TikTok or on what else? What else is there? I don't know, Twitter, and I know Facebook does it too. We mindlessly scroll through, and doom scrolling in this particular definition talks about negative news articles, something that's negative, and we mindlessly 아무 생각 없이 계속 그냥 스크롤을 하는 거예요. 그 행위 자체를 doom scrolling이라고 하는 거예요. 아무 생각 없이 위로 올리고 하는 그 행위 자체를 doom scrolling입니다. Right? So that's what the definition is. Yeah, that's actually very true. What did you say? JJJOOO? Yeah, that's perfect. Exactly what you said. That's true. Okay. Yeah. Doom scrolling is mindlessly scrolling through negative news articles, social media posts, or other content sharing platform, right? That's doom scrolling. Do you guys ever doom scroll? Do you guys doom scroll? And what makes you do it? Sometimes I ask myself the same question because I actually also doom scroll. I feel like I do it all the time. And it's not, maybe it's not doom scrolling because I don't necessarily look at negative news, but I think when we use this word, we use it for just scrolling through a lot of things. What can be the reason for this? You know? Okay. Maybe you doom scroll. Yeah, maybe you do. I think all of us are kind of victims of doom scrolling. All of us, I think. Um, cool. That was something I wanted to tell you guys. Should kids be able to have social media? If so, at what age? I want to ask you this, guys. Do you guys think that kids um, should be able to have social media? And I'm not saying should kids have social media. Obviously, kids shouldn't. I think that's something we can all agree on. So JJJOOO, you can just say to answer your question. You can just say, do you doom scroll? You're doom scrolling. You are doom scrolling. There's no term for somebody who does doom scroll. It's not it's not like a big thing we do. It's just I feel like everybody does it. Like on the train, right? On the train, we see everybody on their social media, and they just go up, 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 up. And the reason why we doom scroll is maybe because we're bored on the train, and maybe we want a little bit of entertainment, but there's just so much, and we just keep going through. You can just say you are doom scrolling. I am doom scrolling. Yeah. So should kids be able to have social media? If so, at what age? Aiden and I talk about this all the time. Aiden and I talk about this all the time. My wife and I talk about this, and we never really we kind of come to an agreement. I think she and I are on the same page. But if so, what age? Because you can't ban them from having social media all their life. Maybe until like 18. Do you think that's okay? Like for a 17-year-old, do you think 17-year-olds are okay? I mean, at 18, people can do whatever they want, so should be fine because they're not kids anymore. But, you know, just something to think about, and it's just something to kind of get everybody's opinions on. 어렵나요? 좀 질문이 어려울 수 있어요, 그죠? 여러분들의 실력에 따라 좀 어려울 수 있지만 여러분들의 재량껏 적어주시면 좋을 것 같아요. You can say something like I think 내 생각엔 kids should be able to have social media at blah 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 age, like at 15, 16. Or maybe somebody might say at 9. Somebody might say no, they cannot have social media at all until they turn 18. Yeah. I remember I had Facebook since I was little, but I actually had mine deactivated until I was an adult. And I wasn't really on Facebook. And I started Instagram. I'm not on it much anymore, but I started Instagram I think when I was 19. I think kids don't need to use social media. Very good. Very good. And now, what is the definition of a kid? Do you think 16-year-olds are kids? Do you think 16-year-olds are kids? 제가 이 질문을 드린 거는 이 질문을 드린 이유는 아이들에 대한 그러니까 뭐 kids 애들에 대한 그 정의는 사실 나이 정의는 크게 없잖아요. 그죠? 그렇기 때문에 16살 아이들인가요? 16살 친구들이 right? Are they kids? I mean, they should be considered teenagers, but sometimes can we just say that they're kids? So, what is a kid? So that's why I said at what age? Okay. Thank you, JJJOOO. That was actually a very good comment. So JJJ says, I think it's important, the age. I think age is important, right? I think age is important. More later and later. Later on, it is better later on. I think later is good in my thought. I think it is better later, right? We might have one-sided opinions because Instagram tends to show things that one wants to see. Yeah, that was a very good comment. So I am just going to revise this just a little bit for you. 제가 조금 수정해 드릴게요. Right. Because this is why we're all here, guys. We are here to to learn, and I think I make mistakes all the time, right? I wrote like I think I wrote at something or in social media when I need to not write in social media. It's all about kind of like fixing yourself after, because that's why we do these things, right? I think age is important. Okay. I think because you said I think it is better to have social media later on. We might see one-sided opinions. One-sided. Okay, one-sided. We might see one-sided opinions because Instagram shows many Instagram tends to show things Instagram tends to show things a person. I said, well, a person wants to see. Okay, and it's kind of hard to read that, right? So I'm just gonna push I'm going to push this up. Okay. So JJJ says, I think age is important. It is better to have social media later on. Maybe at like what? At 18? At 17? We might see one-sided opinions because Instagram tends to show things a person wants to see. That's a very, very good comment. Thank you, JJJ. Because even at this age, even in my 20s, 30s, I feel like we need to be open to other sides of politics, other sides of religion, other sides of society, culture. We tend to just look at what we want to see because that's what we've been we've been favored around. And I think that's very important. That's what algorithm does. The more you see, the more you are not able to go to that other side. So we really, really tend to kind of be one-sided when it comes to social media, and that's very, very kind of scary. That we can only look at one side of the politics, one side of religion, one side of culture. Let's read some other comments. Yeah, so so 냥만자 가상팔자님, I think they should not use until they turn 18, but maybe they can't be. But maybe it can't be. Yeah. Because what are the restrictions of a 14-year-old getting onto social media? Right? There's not a lot of restrictions. Maybe a parent can say, no, you can't go. You can't get on social media, and I'm going to lock your phone, and you're going to give me your phone. But she can still go on. He can still go on. There's a lot of things that, kids nowadays are able to do. So let me actually fix that as well. I think they shouldn't use what? Use social media until they turn 18. But maybe it can't be. But maybe it's hard. But maybe it's hard. But maybe that's hard. But maybe that's hard. But maybe that's too hard. Oops. Where did it go? Sorry, I'm trying to find where my text went. That's weird because now I can't get it. All right, where did it go? There it is. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Here it is. So I think they shouldn't use social media until they turn 18, but maybe that's too hard. Yeah, JJJ mentioned a really, really important side, a little scary side of social media. Mm-hmm. So are you taking a class? 양팔자 가상팔자님, are you in a class? Are you in a are you taking PT lessons? Are you taking PT lessons? Or why do you have to start at 9 o'clock? Why do you have to start at 9 o'clock? I mean, stay as long as you can. I'm not going to stop you. 제가 가라는 건 아닙니다. I'm not saying go away and do your workout, but I'm just asking, why do you have to start at 9 o'clock? JJJ, another really good comment. Another good comment from JJJ. However, these days, These days, most of the kids have their smartphones. So regulations for kids are needed when they use them. Very good. I'm going to write that on here as well. So everybody take a look at JJJ's comment. 여러분 JJJ님 거 볼게요. However, these days most kids have their smartphones, right? They have their smartphones, most kids, because parents are not going to be like, okay, I want you to go out into the real world without being able to contact me. And you might say, oh wait, but you can give them folder phones, but folder phones also have social media in it. You can still have social media on it. These days, most kids have their smartphones, and this is inevitable. In the world we live in right now, we need to have our phones. So anyway, these days most kids have their smartphones. So regulations for kids are needed when they use them, right? Yeah, that's very, very good. That's very important what you mentioned there. Kids need smartphones, or kids need phones, but phones will have Instagram, phones will have Kakao, phones will have YouTube on it. So regulations are needed. You do CrossFit. 양팔자 가장팔자님, you do CrossFit. Do you like it? Do you like CrossFit? Do you like CrossFit? I hate CrossFit. Regulations also mean restrictions. Do you know what restriction is? Okay, it means they have to be controlled. They have to be controlled, right? Kids should be controlled when they use the smartphones, when they use phones. I hope that makes sense. The next big thing says, I'm off social media. Might be too old for it. That's great. That's great. See, and I think a lot of people tend to kind of grow old. I feel like a lot of people tend to grow old from social media. I think people tend to grow old from social media. What does that mean? 뭔 말일까? What does that mean? They grow old from social media. They can say this means people would think that social media is for younger kids that are not their age, that are not in their age range or in their age level. Yeah. So the next big thing, thank you for participating. Thanks for writing. Learn from social media. Yeah, so is there anything to learn from social media, do you think? So the next big thing says he or she is off social media and is too old for it. And that's a really, really good comment, because I think a lot of people might agree with me. A lot of older people might agree with me, like people who are a few years older than me that I'm friends with. You said learn from social media ? Do you think you can learn from social media? I want you to answer. 질문 답해 주실 수 있나요? learn from social media. 소셜미디어에서 배울 수 있는 점이 있나요? That's a good question to ask other people. Can you learn from social media? absolutely nothing. I love that. I love that. I love when people have strong opinions and they go all out with it. All right, so we got both sides of the conversation here, okay? And now I want you guys to talk amongst yourselves. Why do you say absolutely nothing? And why do you say you can, yes, you can learn from social media? Can you give me some reasons? I love the absolute wait, what is it? The next big thing. The next big thing says absolutely nothing. I love that. Thank you. Thank you for that comment. And then John says, "Yeah, I can learn from social media." And now again, this is a discussion. This is not even a debate. This is a discussion, right? And there's no winners or losers. We don't judge. We just discuss. We just talk about it. I love that you guys are active now, starting to get a little bit more active and talking about what and why things are the way it is. Ah. So 양팔자가상팔자님 says we can check other people's opinions. And can you learn from them? Can you learn from people's opinions? We can learn from people's opinions. I'm just gonna say Nyang. I hope that's okay. Alright, JJJ says, if we have to know whether store where I want to go is open or not, we can get information from their post on Instagram. Very good. Right? So JJJ says, if we want to know whether or not, whether a store is open or not, this is a long sentence. That's a really good sentence. It's good. We can get information from their post on Instagram. Beautiful. Beautifully said. I would just say, if you have to know whether a store I want to go to is open or not. A store I want to go to is open or not. We can get information from their post on Instagram. Beautiful, beautiful. So that's something you can learn, right? I guess, right? I would love to hear back from the next big thing. I don't know if you're still here. You might be gone. And if you are gone, that's okay. Thank you for being here. Nyangpalja님 says, we can learn that there are many different kinds of people and thoughts in this world. Very good. Yeah, we can learn that there are many different kinds of people and thoughts in the world. Beautiful. Yeah, we can learn that there are many different kinds of people and different opinions, different perspectives, right? In this world. Really good, guys. Really good. These are really good reasons to kind of back up your opinions. All right. We'll take just a couple more. Do you guys have any questions? I'll take some questions because actually it's already been an hour. Any questions, guys? 한국말로 질문하셔도 됩니다. 잠시 질문 받고 끝내겠습니다. JJJ says another important comment here. She wrote that we might get fake information. Fake information seems to be real if you don't know the actual fact. if you don't know the actual information, right? We might trust the information, believing that it is real. Okay. You might get fake information. Fake information seems to be real if you don't know the actual information. But how do you get the actual information? Right? Okay. 질문 있으실까요, 여러분? 물론 오늘 다 영어로 했는데 굉장히 따라와 주셔서 너무너무 감사드립니다. 이거 활성화 되도록 여러분들이 이렇게 채팅 많이 적어주셔서 감사드리고요. 질문 있으면 질문 잠시 받고 다음 주에 뵙도록 할게요. 오늘 영상 올라가는 거 있어요. 제가 오늘 저녁에 지금 올릴지 아니면은 새벽에 올릴지 아직 고민 중인데 또 대화 쉐도잉이에요. 대화 쉐도잉이 이제 여러분들이 사실상 AI 유튜브 들어보면은 좀 뭔가 좀 제가 막 일부러 뭐 그런 영상들을 비하하려고 하는 말은 아니고 너무 AI로 된 목소리들이 너무 많아요. 물론 쉐도잉하고 그런 뭐 문장 많이 듣는 건 좋은데 그런 거 들어도 사실 듣는 게 안 듣는 것보단 낫지만 안 듣는 것보다 훨씬 나아요. 근데 사실 우리가 AI만 계속 듣다가 정말 사람들 실제로 말하는 거 들어보면은 큰 차이가 있어요. 큰 차이를 여러분들 느끼실 거예요. 물론 안 한 것만 낫습니다. 그래서 제가 오늘 이번에 영상 드리는 거는 실제로 대화. 제가 직접 말하고요. 에이든 미국인이 직접 말하고요. 정말로 뭔가 이렇게 퍼즈, 정말로 중간에 멈추는 것까지 한 번씩 여러분들이 들어보셨으면 좋겠어요. 그래서 그거 한번 살펴봐 주시면 좋을 것 같고요. 좋아요 눌러주시고 If you guys have questions, you guys can ask. Otherwise, I will head on out. So, new video coming today, and then for those of you guys who are beginners, 여러분들 아직 듣기가 조금 어려우신 분들을 위해서 듣기, 귀뚫기 영상 오늘 내일쯤 들어 올라갈 거고요. 그래서 그거 계속 살펴봐 주시면 좋을 것 같습니다. Press that thumbs up for me, please. That this actually helps a lot, I think, when it comes to getting the video out there. 너무너무 감사드립니다, JJJ님. 감사드립니다. I hope you find the actual videos helpful as well. 다음 시간에 다음 주도 한 수요일쯤에 할 거고요. 그 알림 켜놓으시면은 제가 퀴즈 하는 거랑 여러분들 라이브 언제 하는지 제가 말씀드리니까요. 그거 봐주시면 좋을 것 같고요. Alright, I will be back with more fun content and hopefully more exciting and a little bit more creative content. I'm trying to be more creative here. And if you guys have kind of I don't know, recommendations or comments about the content I make, that would be really cool as well. 감사합니다. 김진웅님 감사합니다. 다음 시간에 뵙도록 하겠습니다. Thank you so much everybody and I'll see you guys next week.